Hey crafty friends, it's Alyssa with Crafting to Cope, and I'm on today with a quick little tutorial. Well, it's probably not super quick, but we are going to take one of these index card books that you can get at Dollar Tree. You can also get them at Dollar General. So these ones are from Dollar Tree, and they're from this year's school supply section, so they're $1.25. They also sell them at Dollar General. I was traveling once and I found them at Dollar General. I think at Dollar General they were $3. Obviously at Dollar Tree they're $1.25. You can also get them, I believe, at Walmart, though the ones at Walmart aren't, I think they have colored inside and I want white. You can also get them on Amazon. I'll link them below from Amazon in case you're interested. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn one of these into this adorable little journal. So this is one I made last year with last year's colors from Dollar Tree, so they were a little more pastel last year, and I used a Doodlebug collection, Halloween collection, to turn this into this cute little journal. So I'll kind of flip through and show you what I did. So I just decorated the pages and put some stickers and things on them using this adorable little paper collection. And I decorated every page, and then I also kept the tabs in there and I decorated the tabs. Now you can not decorate the tabs and just use them and kind of put up here what's in each section if you wanted, but I just kind of decorated them. I thought it just added a little extra, but I'm still going to use those divider pages kind of as my pages in my book. So I just kind of go through and you can see I used a 6x6 paper pad for this one because, you know, the designs are smaller. I also used the offcuts after I cut some of the pages. I used the offcuts in my decor pieces, you know, at the top or bottom just to add a little contrast and, you know, to add some cute designs. So as you're going through, you're going to want to hang on to those offcuts because you can definitely use them. So I used them here. And so this is just the adorable journal. You could use this to add pictures or little journaling cards. You could also, you know, just use it as like a little junk journal of fun little things from Halloween. So this is the one I made. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these and I'm going to start prepping it on camera so you can see how I prep it to get it ready to use. It does have 60 index cards in it, and this album right here I think has 12, so you can see you're going to have to remove some of these cards because it gets pretty chunky when you start decorating the pages. And I found that it's best when decorating the pages to only have like 12 to 15 pages in it, and you get this cute big book. So nice chunky book. So we are going to prep this one, but first I'm going to go through just kind of the things you're going to need. So obviously you're going to need the index card book. I also use wet glue, so in my glue press here, I have art glitter glue, and then I also use a tape runner. So I just use these AdTech tape runners. I get them, you can get them from Hobby Lobby. They also sell them at Walmart, and then I can link them below in Amazon. And then some scissors, so I have my scissors. And then you're gonna need a paper trimmer. So I have my Fiskars paper trimmer here. And then you're going to need a paper collection. So or you know, what you're going to use. So for this project today, we are actually going to use the new Simple Stories Spooky Things collection, and most of everything that I'm going to use is coming out of this 6x8 paper pad. I also do have the collection and things, and then here I have this organizer that I use, and in it I have, you know, just like my ephemera, some extra things that match the collection. So some doilies, I have some flowers, and then all of my offcuts are here. I also, ahead of this video, printed cuts out some of the little bits from the 6x8 paper pad in case I wanted to utilize those on my pages. So what we're going to do is we are going to prep this and get it ready for designing. And the first thing I do is I take this plastic piece off. Now you can leave it if you want to just kind of insert, you know, your cover in and have it, you know, covered by plastic. I like to make mine kind of the cover 3D. So here I put a doodle pop on the top, you know, so I just take this off and you can just rip it right off. I've made it sound so easy. So you just give it a good tug. And then also you can take this index cover off. And then those I just toss. This I don't keep because it's very cloudy and I wouldn't use it for anything else. It's not clear like acetate. Now the other thing is you can just take these dividers right out, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the first one out, and then I'm just going to count out 15 sheets. Now just keep in mind you can't add pages back in when you cut them out. So I usually leave 15, and then as I make the book, if it's getting really chunky, I may take more pages out later, but I leave at least 15 in when I get started. Usually I end up with about 12, but again, you can't put them back. So 3, all right, so I have 15 pages here. You can just leave these ones in because we're just going to cut out the rest of the pages. So when you take these out, they're really easy to put back in. I'll show you that in a minute, but they're super easy to put back in. So I have 15 pages right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the rest of these pages. And I don't want to ruin these at all, so I don't just rip them out. What I do is I want to be able to use these index cards for something else. I don't want to waste them, and I don't want to rip out this heavy card and bend these so then my book gets ruined at all. So I just take a little chunk, and then I go right by the holes and I cut. So you'll see these are perforated. You can just take this fuzzy part off the top and you have yourself index cards. And by cutting them, you don't end up with all those little like notebook things. You just have these clean strips that you just throw away. So what I do is I just cut all of these out. So I'm left with my 15. Got a little mess. And then once it's all done, you're ready to start decorating. And then you can just push this back in. So I'm just going to show you how easy it is to put this back in. You just put this right back where it goes. And then you just push in these little things. You can use your fingernail, which is what I'm doing, or you can use like a pokey tool or the end of a scissors if you need to kind of push them down. Sometimes they get a little stubborn, but you just put it right back in. So then your book, once you cut all these out, is all ready for you to start decorating. And then again, I hang on to these because you can use them, you know, as index cards, recipe cards, whatever you would normally use index cards for. They're also great for backing like thin paper if you want to die cut. So I do that. We are going to start, I actually started one, so you don't have to watch all the process, but we are going to start cutting down paper and decorating. So what, you know, again, I said I used this 6x8 paper pad, and it's so easy to cut down. Everything is going to be 3x5. So you just need to cut your sheets of paper into 3x5. So to do that, I just use a paper trimmer. So I just take my paper trimmer, and then I take my sheet of paper, and pay attention to your directions. Here it doesn't really matter because they're stripes, and you're going to want to cut it 3 or 5 inches, and then you can get 2 3x5 out of it after that. And again, keep those offcuts. We're going to try and use some of them up later. And so you're just going to cut the 3x5 sections. And by doing that, you end up with just these 2 pieces left over, which again, we can totally use some of those while we're decorating. So after I get my 3x5 and I have them all done, we're just going to start decorating. And so I think what I'm going to do for the cover is I'm actually going to put this cute flower pattern on the cover. So now I do the covers a little bit differently than I do the inside of the book. When I do the covers, I like to double up my adhesive. So I use tape and wet glue. So really all I do is just take my tape runner and put the tape all around it. You could also use, you know, I don't know, like score tape would probably be really good. I don't have any of that handy. And then I just put my wet glue right on top of that glue. And the reason I'm doing that is because this piece of paper, I'm actually gluing on plastic, where the rest of them, I will be gluing on paper. So I just need one adhesive. And I don't know if you have this glue press, but if, oops, I got glue on there. If you don't, I would highly suggest getting one. I love it. It's so much easier to make it so my glue doesn't dry out. I don't have to keep putting a glue stopper back in it. So it keeps my glue really dry, or, you know, wet, I guess is the better word. So here you're just going to want to go all the way over to the edge and just place it down. And then I'm going to press it really good. You could also use, you know, a bone folder if you have one to press it down, but then that's the start of my cover. Then on the inside, I've already started decorating some of these pages, so you don't have to watch me glue everything down. I cut a bunch of 3x5 to just kind of show you. So what I do is I make sure the top and bottom match, and then I'm going to go through and decorate them. So here we just have a few pages left that we're going to do. And then the back cover. So you guys can come along with me while I do that. So here for the inside, I just use the wet glue because it's just paper on paper. And this glue, again, it's art glitter glue, which looks like this. I love art glitter glue. Here, I just, you know, just put like a nice, bead. Apparently it's not going to want to work for me right now. I think it's getting empty, so you can use this as well. The reason I like to use the wet glue, actually, I'm just going to try to get it to work. See if I can fill it back up. The reason I like to use the wet glue is the wet glue, it's a little more giving, right? Like you can move things around a little bit, and you can't really do that with the tape. I really should have filled this up before we started. Trying to see if I have another bottle laying around here. Okay, well, we're going to use this for right now because I don't have another bottle handy. So the wet glue is just a little bit better because you can reposition it, where if here you get one shot, and if it doesn't match, I actually don't want to put an orange one right after an orange one, so I'm going to skip a couple of pages. And I'm going to put it here. So this is a 3x5 card, and this is 3x5. So what I do is I want to cover the perforation up a little bit because I don't want, if the book keeps opening and closing, I don't want this to come loose. So I just go right below that perforation. And it's okay if you have a little white at the top because, again, we're going to decorate it and we're going to use some offcuts. And I cover that perforation, and then I just set my piece of paper down. So now you can see that perforation's covered, and it's not just gonna rip open while we're opening and closing the book. So we're just gonna continue to do that for these pages and add them in there. And you know, if you don't want to use all of your solid colored paper, you can also, or decorative paper, you can also use solid colored paper. You don't have to use all your decorative paper. I just like to add it in there. And again, just line it up and then press it down. So now I need to go back a page, and I have these ones I need to put in there. I also find it easy sometimes to, so I can really see where the page is, to just take it and go like this, so I'm working with just the page that I want to put the paper on. Then I can line it up a little bit better without anything in the background. So just have a couple more pages left, and then we're going to do the back. And then you get to do the fun part, which is decorating it and then putting on the ribbon. And it's just a whole lot of fun. And these are fun to add in, you know, to your Happy Mail, or if you're doing swaps. It's just a super easy, quick little book. So again, make sure I got them all. I think I might have a couple more pages. Yep, a couple more I'm going to use. It's also a really good way to use some of your scraps. So like if you did a 12 by 12 project and you had some scraps left over, as long as they're 3 by 5, you can use them to kind of cover these index cards. This collection is so cute. I had shown a video. I hauled the whole collection at a little brick and mortar scrapbook store, which I just love going to those stores, but they also really suck me in because I can see everything. And then, you know, then I want it. And so I did buy the whole collection. So let's see. We're going to do these pretty ones next. And so you see, like once you prep, you know, when you cut all your pages, this is such a quick and easy project. And then you get to the fun part, decorating really fast, because you just have to cover these 12 pages. Or 15, however many you decide you want. And then again, we have this back cover. So what I would like to do for that is double up the glue again, but I'm going to have to figure out why my glue isn't working, if it's because it's empty or if it's clogged. So one thing with wet glue is it does get clogged, especially if you don't cover it back up and put your pin back in it, or if you don't put, like in this case, if I didn't put it right back in here, it will get a little clogged. And so then you have to use a pin, which is what I'm trying to find at the moment. You have to use a pin to try and unclog it, which is pretty easy. You just take the stainless steel. Every pin that you put in here has to be, I have to move it closer, sorry, I don't have the, you just put this pin in here to unclog it. And then usually that works. So let's see. I put some of this glue on here first. Again, I just like to double it up because it is going on plastic. So yeah, you just shove that pin in there, move it around a little bit, and then your glue becomes unclogged. And the thing with this wet glue is it dries really fast, it's giving, and it is more cost effective to use wet glue because those tape runners you can go through pretty quick when you're attaching a lot of things, especially in like this little book. And so now we have all of our pages done. So now you just take these leftover, I have all these little leftover pieces that I can use in my decor, or I can use for something else later. And I'm just going to try and decide how I want to decorate this. And so I do have a lot of the bits from the collection. I have sticker sheets, I have chipboard, all kinds of fun things, and we're just going to start looking at them and decide like what we want to add to the cover and what we want to add to some pages. I also really want to look for some smaller little things that I can add onto my tabs. And so just to kind of decorate it, you'll see on these tabs I added just these little stickers on last year's, and so I'd kind of like to look for some of those little things. And there's not tons of little tiny things. I have stars, little stars that I think I could use. the spider might be too big even, so I think our best, there's flowers. So I think what we're gonna do is use stars and flowers on the dividers, but first let's decorate the front. And I think what I want to do, because I'm thinking that this would make a really cute little memory album, I think I want to use this right here. This Ghouls Just Want to Have Fun. I'd also really like to incorporate a doily, but I don't think I want to use that one. I think I'll maybe use a pink one. And so I'm going to take one of these out of here. Just kind of layer it up. So just try to get these open. And of course, obviously, you can decorate it as little or as much as you want. And I'm kind of thinking I like that look with this on here, and then I'll just add something over here. So I'm going to use a little wet glue here on my doily. And again, this wet glue, a little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to just put that right on there. And then the sticker does have, obviously, adhesive on it, but since it's going on a cover, I'm just going to add a little more adhesive just to make sure that with all the moving around, it does not open up. And so I'm just going to put that right here on the cover and kind of double it up. Now I think it needs a little something. Let's see what it needs. I do like this little orange flower. So I think I'll put the orange flower there. Yeah. Let's do that. And I have these decorative brads. I think I might use one of these up in the corner as well. I like to add a bunch of different kind of elements. And so, you know, I have like this double, it's doubled, so you can see it kind of probably needs to be glued a little bit better. Let's put some glue in there. There we go. Let's see. I don't want to, I really like this one, but I don't want to use it because it matches too well. So I think I might use, I'm going to use this one. And again, I tend to over glue things. I don't want anything falling apart, especially if I'm going to give it to someone else. So there you go. That is our cover. And I think it's super cute. I might add more to it later though, because I just tend to keep adding things. And then now we're just going to go through and decide what we want to do on the inside. And this is where I'll probably use more of the flat stickers from the sticker sheet because I don't want the inside of my book to be too puffy. I also have these cut aparts that I cut out of the 6x8 paper pad that we can utilize. And then I do have some of the extra bits that I bought, but I need to find ones that are small enough to fit inside of this book. And so some of these are kind of large. I think it would probably be just this pack that I would want to use. And so why don't we open this pack and kind of set those things out so we know what we have to work with. And in this case, I'm just going to set them over here because I'm not using a lot of glue all over the place. So this page is pretty busy. I'm not sure that I would put any offcuts on it. I think because it's just kind of cute as it is. I just kind of decide while I dig through like what looks cute. And so Some of these are bigger than I would want them to be, but the other packs are even bigger. So, I mean, you don't have to put things on there, but I think like in this case, I'll just put those two things. And again, I'm not going to use tape. I'm just going to use some wet glue because I want it to be able to give a little, and so I can put it where I want it. So I'm going to put that down there. And this, this glue dries so fast. I know there's a lot. There's like Barely Art glue. I don't know. I'm sure they all work, or the Nouveau glue. I'm sure they all work great. I'm just kind of started with our glitter glue and never went back. So I will link it below if you want to give it a try. It comes, you can order it, and it comes in this little bottle, which you can use, and you have to keep a pin at the top. But it also comes with this huge refill bottle. And I mean, this has lasted me like a year. It lasts a really long time because, again, it doesn't take that much. So this is cute. I think I might add, I don't know that there's any colors I would want to add to that. And, you know, you don't have to add anything either. You don't have to put decor on there because, like, in this case, it's kind of already busy. And I don't, like, maybe a little journaling card would be fun, but I don't know that I'm going to add anything to this page. I think I'm going to leave this page as it is because it's just already cute. The only thing I could add is maybe a strip of purple. Let's see what I have in my offcuts here. Like, that might be cute. Just at the bottom, I think. I will do that. So really, if you want to do that, the measurements are super easy. Everything is 3 by 5. So you would just cut this down to 5, and then you have another offcut. And again, if you don't want to add anything, you don't have to. But it's so easy. You don't have to measure anything. So that just adds a little something. Then I might put a little something. Let's see, do I have a little pumpkin? You know, you could add, so you get to watch my creative process, which is all over the place a lot of times. I think I'll add this little flower here. That's good. Oh, let's see. It's kind of a dark page. That's so cute. I think I'll add, just want something with some color. I think I'll add this. No, I'm going to add this flower. That's what I'm going to do. I love that color. As you can probably tell, my shirt's that color. My nails are that color. I think I'm like on kind of a minty teal kick. So that's all I'm going to do on that page. And then this one's quite plain. So this would be a good place for some offcuts. Again, let's see what we have. I'd probably add these strips. So I'm going to cut these 2 strips down to 3 by 5. Or 5 inches, not 3 by 5. I cover the whole page. So I'm just going to double them up here. Keep those little strips. I really do like to try and use most of my paper, which is funny because I have no shortage of it, but I do not like to waste my pretty paper. If I have a lot left over, I'll usually turn it into tags or use it for I'm going to put it at the top and the bottom. Use it for circles, for the centers of rosettes, you know, those types of things. I really do not like to waste my paper, especially this collection. I just got it, so I'm going to hang on to all of those offcuts that we don't utilize to put into future projects. So that is super cute. And then I think that we could add, let's see what kind of sticker we could add to this. We need a little ghosty in here somewhere. Let's add this little ghosty. Let's add him right here. There. And sometimes I feel like the pages are stuck together and they're not, but this one is. So this one is very busy, but I think what I would like to add to this is just something more black. I think I'm going to add the house. I love that house. And we can add the owl up there. Let's do that. There we go. A green page. All right. So I think I kind of want to, let's see. The green is kind of boring, so I think I'm going to add these cuts. I do like the stripes. Such a fun little project. And here you can see, sorry, I want to show you, I didn't go all the way to the top of the page with the green, but I can with this decorative piece. And then I'll do the same on the bottom. And we'll see what kind of stickers we can add to it to kind of make the page a little more interesting. All right. So here I think I'm just going to add some cute little pumpkins because we need pumpkins in our Halloween book. All right. I'm feeling the Halloween, and I'm still not done with like my other projects, but do you ever get like that when like a season's not even close, but yet you're like, it's not like I want to rush summer to be over. I really don't. I love summer, but I just love Halloween crafting. So it's like this time of year, I need some summerween. You know, I need to add a little bit of it in and kind of, I don't know, get it out of my system, I guess. So that's cute. Let's find something spooky. Yeah, I think I like that. So I don't know. I'm going to do a few Halloween project shares just because I want people to see them, like little tutorials on things I do to make fun little journals. But I do have to get back to I have some challenges I have to finish and some Happy Meal I want to send. And I'm just having a hard time, you know, it's like the job interrupts my crafting. But obviously the job has to be my priority, which it is. But my ideas are so much that I wish I could. I just keep picking this up. I'm going to have to use it because I just keep picking it up. So I think I'm going to put this one down here. I'm obviously drawn to it. So I don't know. I wish I could craft 24 hours a day because my ideas and the things I would like to get done outweigh the amount of time I have, but that's okay. Then I think I'm going to use this fun little ghost. That kind of matches that. Oh, that's another kind of boring page. Let's see. Oh, purple or stripes. We already used stripes. I like the black polka dots. Let's do that. So I don't know. I do like the crafting. It kind of calms me down, and I get to use my creative process, I guess, which, as you can see, is all over the place, but it's fun nonetheless. I know there are a lot of people that don't really like Halloween, and then some that only like cutesy Halloween. I mean, I love Christmas. Obviously, I love Christmas for what it stands for, and I just love Christmas in general. But there's something about Halloween. It's not like the blood, the gore, and those types of things. I've always loved Halloween since I was a kid, and I think it's just because it's like a fun holiday, and you know, like you got to go out with your friends, and you know, when I was a kid, you got to go out in dark, and my parents weren't with now. Obviously, parents go with now, but it was, you know, that was pretty exciting when I was a kid, and so I think that's kind of why I've always liked Halloween. I do just love all the decor. Obviously now it's like the pastel Halloween. Like I went to Home Goods yesterday, and the amount of Halloween decor they had was just amazing. And then they had so much like pastel-Halloween, and it just was crazy to me because, like, you know, obviously I didn't have any pastel-Halloween when I was a kid. And then I found myself like totally wanting to buy all of it, but I don't know that I have enough space for all of this Halloween stuff that I want to buy. I did buy some, so I'll probably share some of that with you, but they're so cute and so pretty, and so like I feel like Halloween is the holiday you can do with it as you want, right? You could totally do all cutesy, pastel, whatever. You could go the complete opposite end of the spectrum and do more of like scary gore. I don't know. My decor is more traditional, though I did buy some pastel items yesterday because I just couldn't leave them. But I don't know. That's why I like Halloween. It's just a lot of fun to me. This one is going to be kind of hard because it's very busy. Let's see. Maybe we just leave this one. I don't think there's a lot we can do here. I think I'm just going to leave these as they are. And this one, I think we can do... That cat is kind of big. Ooh, let's do this owl off the sticker sheet. Down in the corner. And then let's do this black bat. There we go. I love this page. That's probably why I put it on the cover. I really do love this page. You know, I don't even know. I think I'll just do this pumpkin with the flowers. There we go. And then we're almost done. You're probably like, finally, lady, I don't want to keep watching you decorate a page. Let's see. I think we're just going to do a pumpkin here. There we go. And then this one is kind of boring. Let's use these little pieces because I don't know what else I'm going to use them for. So we're going to put these on the side to add a little bit of color. And then this is the back cover, but since there's paper there, this paper will adhere to the paper. I'm not going to double this one up just because it's plastic. That was just for the paper onto the plastic. So we'll just add a cute little sticker in here, and then we're going to call this one good. Let's add this black cat over here. All right. And then the back cover is kind of boring, so let's see what we can do there. You know, I think a spider web would be cute. And then maybe a spider. Oh, there is a spider right here. No, it's not colorful enough. Here. Yep, we're going to do that. Let me glue this down first. Then all we have to do is finish the tabs. If you want to, you don't have to finish the tabs, but I would like to put something on them. Let that spider go. All right, we're done gluing for right now. So that's the back. So, you know, I was thinking that maybe I could put these on there and cut them down. I wonder what that would look like. Let's see. I don't think I want to do that. I think I'm just going to put the little stickers on them. So for the first one, I'm going to do this purple. Let's do this blue star. See if that fits. Again, it's sticky already, but I'm going to put a little bit of glue on it so I can position it, and because it's sticking to plastic. Then I'm just going to hold it, and then I think the next thing I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to do this green flower. So there's just a bunch of little things on this sticker sheet, and that's what I'm trying to utilize because you can't really fit too much on these tabs. So a little glue, and then I'm going to stick that flower down while I look for my next thing. I think the next one I'm going to do is just, then I'm going to want to wipe off this extra glue. And to do that, you could get a baby wipe. If I can figure out where mine are. You can just wipe it off. Otherwise, it will dry clear, but since it's plastic, it will dry clear, but it'll have like a little roughness to it because it's plastic. So I'm just going to wipe around it with the baby wipe. There we go. And then the last one I'm going to do, so the first one was a blue star. Let me wipe that glue off too. I'm going to do a pink star if I can find one. So I do have a pink star. All right. So this is our book. We're going to go through it real quick. I'll do a quick flip through for you. My workspace is a little sticky. So here's the cover. And then each of the pages, I might go through and add more because some of them I think need a little extra. All right. I will probably add a little bit more, but you kind of get the idea. This is the cute little book that you can make out of the Dollar Tree index cards. And then the last thing I would do is I just would add a little bit of trim. So I have these colors. I think what I'll do is I'll add pink, blue, and purple. I'm going to add the purple. So just find the end. And I just do like 3 little knots. You don't want to put too much on here because you want to be able to open the book. So I'm just going to do that. And then you feed it through. You can use your end of your scissors or something if you need help feeding it through. But I'm just going to put a couple little cutesy things on the top to add a little extra. And then trim them. And let's see, find the end of the pink. And then I'm going to put it in the middle. If I can get my fingers in there. Again, you can just kind of use your scissors to poke it. Or attempt to use your scissors to poke it. And then pull it up. And you can skip this part. And also another thing that would be really cute is to add like a dangle. So again, I'm going to do a lot more of that off camera. Oh, this video is already so long. And then I think purple. Where is the end? There we go. And the seam binding you can get on Etsy. There's also some shops on Amazon that sell it. I love seam binding. I don't know why. I just do. It's so easy to use and comes in so many pretty colors. And a little goes a long way. So if you're interested, I'll also put some of that down in the description box for you so you know where to find it. It just has this fun old vintage look to it. But it's also just kind of subtle. And so there you go. I just add these little, and I might add a little bit more, but that is our book. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.